Hey guys, welcome back to Kerbal Space Program with Nitro. Well, we are back here in career mode for episode 3. And if we check our handy dandy research and development tree here, we can see that we have 16 science and we need 45 for our next set of stuff. Now, I've made the determination now that I don't want to go just straight up the tree here. I actually want this one right here is general construction because that gives us our duct tape. Basically is what the strut connector is, and we need duct tape if we're going to have any chance of holding stuff together for larger and larger rockets. And then after we get that duct tape, we need better communications, better science equipment, and then I'm going to go ahead and go for the probe and stabilizers, and then this general rocketry stuff over here. I don't really need these engines or this fuel tank for anything really, but it's nice to have later. But for right now, I definitely want to focus on this. So to get that, one of my friends actually discovered this, and I thought it was kind of crazy. If you just get a regular pod right here with any crew member in it and send it out to the launch pad, you can actually conduct science on Kerban itself without even having to go into space. So I know it's nighttime, but luckily we do have our light up there on our tower, and so if we have Jebediah go EVA here, just on the launch pad itself, you can actually right-click on Jeb and you can take a surface sample of the launch pad, and that gives you 9 science, which is a little ridiculous. Yeah, the surface is charred and coated with burnt rocket propellant. There's also trace amounts of a conspicuous green substance. So, a little strange, but you can do that. EVA report gives you 2.4. So, we can keep that data. And then if you go over here and get back into your pod, he stores all that data report that you just got, and then you can just go EVA again. Uh-oh. Come on, Jeb. Come on. There we go. But yeah, so you can just go EVA again. You can use physical time work to actually move around a little faster. I'm just going to take Jeb out to the grass here, and you can actually do more science there as well. I'm not really sure if the pavement here will give you anything, but we'll find out. But it's just kind of a cheap way to get your starting science values if you want to get a little bit more science at the beginning. So now we're out here on the grass, take surface sample. There you go. The substance is what makes the scientists yell at us when we go into the labs without cleaning our boots first. So yes, mud basically is what that means. So we can keep that data as well. And now we just gained a little bit of science by basically doing absolutely nothing. And he's just out here on the ground just because we can. So if we go back to our space center now, we can recover these guys and actually get the science data from this. And there you have it. 27 science basically for doing absolutely nothing, and Jebediah we can recover as well, and there's, wow, 36 science. That's incredible. Mystery goo. Interesting. I don't know what that debris was from. But there you go. So now we have a little bit more science. We have 41 science. So we don't have enough to actually get the next set of parts that I want yet. That's okay. Because now I'm going to do a mission up and over the North Pole of Kerban. So what we can do is load our ship. Let's see. The boom boom. This is one that I just created a couple minutes ago. It flies, but not well, because we don't have those struts to strut these inner parts together, so it does flex outwards a little bit, but it'll be fine for our purposes. So I'm going to send this craft to the North Pole of Kerban, and I do want to do an EVA report actually to gather that data, so let's go ahead and get this done. So here we go. Alright, so that's plenty high for an apoapsis. Let's go ahead and speed up to that point as much as we can. I'd say that seemed a little weird to me that we would have that height over here. I guess we'll just keep an eye on this and see what happens. Alright, so that's good enough. I'm just going to go ahead and do our EVA report right here. Alright, keep that value. Go ahead and quickly get back to our pod before it drifts away on us. Alright. Actually, it looks really bumpy. See how our orbital path is doing here. I might get another EVA report over these mountains and just see what that does for us. Yep, Kerban's Mountains. So that is definitely another one that you can do. So that's good to know. It actually recognizes mountains as being different from the highlands. So that's good. The only other thing that I was wondering about is islands and craters, and we're not really going to be passing over any islands that I can see on that side of the planet, and I can't tell what's over there, so I guess that's just going to have to do. Still got plenty of fuel, so that's good. I do want to land on the daytime side. Actually, hold that thought. I want to land on the North Pole. Let's see what happens when I do this. So there we go, we're going to come in for a North Pole landing. Pretty excited about this one, this will be pretty cool. Actually, I did want to see if gear actually... Oh, yep, it does. Awesome. I never used that before, but apparently if you just hit the landing gear button, it actually deploys all landing gear, so that's awesome. Alright, here we go. Re-entry. Hopefully we don't land on a mountain. Actually, I'll observe it after the craft lands. That'll probably be our best option. That they wouldn't open there for a second. Like it is already getting down to the wire there for how far we are up off the ground. This looks like a new terrain texture to me actually as well for the ice cap, so it looks pretty cool. Hopefully it's not as bumpy as it appears to be. Actually a really nice place to land. We got the sunrise over there. I think I saw the moon off in the distance right there in the other direction. That's pretty cool. You say it might not even be the moon. Not sure. And there we go. We have landed safely. Let's check our goo under these conditions. Interesting. Let's see, crew report. Not a whole lot. Well, that was a pretty interesting little mission that we had there. So hopefully we have enough science for everything else that we need now. Let's go ahead and go back to the Space Center and check it out. Oh yeah. Awesome. So we got a lot of science from that little mission. And that allows us to get new stuff. So one of the major problems I'm going to have here, I can already see, is even if I do get this and I do get the struts and everything, I'm kind of screwed as to how much I can actually do with that, because I don't really foresee me getting any new science data, unfortunately. So what I might actually have to do is get the science technology instead. Ah, good. Finally, solar panels and a battery and lights. Definitely need that. That's pretty useless. Landing struts and landing gear, that's useful for planes. 90 science, though, to research this stuff. So we're just gonna have to unlock these, I guess, as we go. To get some more. I don't really need this, though, so... Although I believe this rocketry is going to unlock our larger fuel tanks for later, so I might have to keep going down that tree anyway. But yeah, very cool. So that is our next mission. Now that we have new science gear, we actually have a science pod that we can experiment with now. So we have this, the Science Junior. Awesome. Very cool. So that's a new communication dish as well. I'm actually launching it right now just to see what this does. Oh, that's cool. It's a little itty bitty satellite dish. That's a nifty little thing there. Huh. Interesting. Something is judging me slightly, huh? Interesting. So there's the inside of our science laboratory that we have here, which is very cool. Definitely gonna have to try this in higher atmosphere conditions and also in space. And then looks like we can just transmit all the data back using that instead of our dinky little antenna that we had before. So very cool. So I'm just gonna end the episode here after I recover this. Not a whole lot of science from that, but now we can actually send that into space and do a mission with that and get some more parts unlocked, and then we can do a proper mission out to the moon, land, and come back. And we can do that with all of our new science gear that we've unlocked. So definitely going to be sending this to the moon and just seeing what all we can do with this. What else do we unlock? We also unlock these batteries, which we're definitely going to need. Let's see. Yeah, this requires a lot of electrical charge, actually. Transmission intervals and total throughput. Interesting. Oh, I love these descriptions that these guys have on here. It's hilarious. Well, there we go. I'm going to continue making a new pod for our next mission into space, conducting more science in the next episode, and then we will finally send a mission out to the moon and then the Moonmas once we have enough parts to make these missions successful. So stay tuned for that, and I'll see you guys on the next episode. Later.